This is where employees are able to clock in and clock out on the ESS kiosk, as well as edit and submit their own time card. They can also choose to have Webclock prompt them to clock in and clock out when they log onto the ESS kiosk. Once employees log onto the ESS kiosk, they will click on the Webclock tab. They will be automatically taken to the Webclock subtab. Clock in and clock out options are presented where the employee will click on the appropriate option. If the clock prompts are set up through the Webclock rules that pertain to the employee logged in, they will be displayed after the clock in or clock out options are presented, dependent upon the rules. The employee must make a selection based upon the rules and click on complete when done. After making the necessary selections, the screen will reflect the time an employee is successfully clocked in or clocked out. The Timecards subtab allows employees to review current timecards, where they're able to add, edit, and delete timecard punches. Employees can also review previous timecards. Employees must be set up with permissions to add and edit their timecards, which can be done by using the security configuration directions. Once employees log onto the ESS kiosk, they will click on the Webclock tab. Then they will click on the Timecards subtab. As a default, the current time period should reflect. If a different time period is needed, they will select the appropriate time period from either the drop-down box or the blue hyperlinked previous period or next period. In order to add or edit a punch, they will click on the blue hyperlinked Add or Edit buttons. The row will be enabled for add or edit information. They will enter or adjust the time in a format of 8 a.m. or p.m. Depending on the rules that were set up through Webclock, the employee will select any necessary cost codes and or pay type for that row. Once all adjustments have been made to the row, they'll click on Save. When adding or editing time, the colon must be included in the time format, otherwise the time will not save. For example, 08:00 a.m. or p.m. In order to delete a row, they will click on the blue hyperlinked Edit button. They will then click on the blue hyperlinked Delete button. A pop-up confirmation message will appear, where they'll click on the OK. The Delete button will delete the entire row, not just a single punch. To delete just a single punch, use the Edit button. When a time period is over, the employee must submit their time cards so that the time may be processed in payroll. Once a time card has been submitted, it is not able to be edited unless it is reopened. If there is no approval set up, then the time cards are automatically approved and ready for import into payroll. If there is an approval set up, the submitting of time cards by each employee will trigger the approval process. Once employees log onto the ESS kiosk, they will click on the Webclock tab and they will click on the Timecards subtab. When on this screen, they will select the correct period from the drop-down box. If all time has been entered correctly, they will click on the Submit Timecard button. A pop-up confirmation message will appear where they will click on OK. The timecard will then refresh and the blue hyperlinked Add Edit buttons will be replaced with Submitted. Note: should any employee submit their timecard, but it has not yet been approved by an administrator, the following screen will appear, where they will not be able to use the punch buttons to clock in or clock out. The workaround for this, until the timecard has been approved by an administrator, is to manually enter their time within the Time Clock subtab. With Pay-Net's Webclock service, make tracking time and attendance simple and efficient. Choose Pay-Net Online for your Webclock services today.